this place, is it?
No. I wonder why they called it Valentine. Almost perverse. Seems polar opposite of romantic.
Well, I don't know. Some lady I was speaking to in town told me about a curse.
A curse? Now, nothing's more romantic than a curse.
Exactly. Prince turned into a toad, lovers into stone, entire country turned into morons. Curses everywhere.
What's Valentine's curse?
Well, I didn't quite understand what the woman was saying, kind of her being a bit of an idiot, but something about a massacre and a last surviving Indian cursing the county.
Well, if they massacred people, then they deserve to be cursed.
Of course. You believe in curses, Arthur?
No. I believe in bullets. And not too much else.
You soulless wretch.
One thing that's continuously brought up in the background around the Valentine area in Red Dead Redemption 2 is the concept of the town of Valentine being cursed. To be fair though, I've never walked into Valentine and not walked out with a bounty. Why? Because everybody punches you in the mouth. But one time I ran away with a raccoon on my head, so curse my arse. No, but really, it does beg the question here. Is there some truth to these claims? Could Valentine be cursed? In today's video, we're going to investigate just that.
You been in town long? Well, you probably heard everyone talking about the curse here. Maybe not. Folk reckon luck runs bad in this town.
A supposed curse of bad luck has befallen the town. That means that any in the town experience terrible luck. Now when I think of a curse, I think a disease. This doesn't really strike me as very curse-ish. That doesn't mean it's not a curse. Curses tend to have a plethora of negative effects, bad luck included. But there is a little bit of backstory that might explain this so-called curse. There are also some rumoured goings on that are supposedly symptoms of this curse. Now to begin with, we have a letter or article of some form that you can find in the game, I do believe. I just couldn't find it, so I did some research and found it here. Sorry for the shit quality, I have no idea where it's come from. The town of Valentine has reported many strange sights and sounds in recent years, and residents speak of a curse that has fallen on the area. Spectral canoes have been seen on the water, and the cries of mourning Indian mothers have been heard at night. At other times, usually on windy, starlit evenings, piercing cries are heard from the distance. Residents claim this is due to the Indian family murdered years ago with a treasure they had found. The reports are uncanny yet come from several sources, and the prevalence of Indian artifacts around the town has only increased the locals' excitability. So not only does this curse supposedly yield bad luck, but also there are sightings of sorts as well. Ghostly sightings, specifically ghostly canoes in the water, and sometimes at night you can hear wailing, supposedly. So I thought, you know what better way to test this than to try to experience it firsthand. At which point I quickly rented a room at the inn. Alright, let's see what we can find. Now, I wasn't sure if I could actually hear any distant noises or what. I did hear very faint distant noises. Let me know if you heard them too. It could be my ears playing tricks on me, but it does sound like very typical nighttime ambience. But you know what, one night is hardly adequate sample size, so I decided to do a couple more. As you can see, no real luck there, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, it all seems to just be ambient nighttime noises. There's nothing really there that pops to me as screaming of ghosts or whatever. Though we as the player may not be able to experience it because we're not from Valentine, I'd say that this tells me that this feature is not in the game and that this is just some folklore for the area. But it does keep getting brought up, more and more people do mention the curse.
Some lady I was speaking to in town told me about a curse.
Curse? Now, nothing's more romantic than a curse.
Exactly. Prince turned into a toad, lovers into stone, entire country turned into morons. Curses everywhere.
What's Valentine's curse?
Well, I didn't quite understand what the woman was saying, kind of her being a bit of an idiot, but something about a massacre and a last surviving Indian cursing the county.
Well, if they massacred people, then they deserve to be cursed.
Of course. You believe in curses, Arthur?
No. I believe in bullets. And not too much else.
You soulless wretch.
But what was it? Was it just bad luck or bad weather or something else?
Something about an eagle or an owl. Gravesite. I didn't really get it.
Yep. It's like the town of Valentine. I'm sure you know the place. People there are convinced they're under some curse. That their run of bad luck is punishment for something. Shared a fire out near there with an old fella who told me he think it's the Indians. Right? Stranger things have happened. He said he'd heard years ago about an ancient Indian painting. One of them they did on animal hides that showed a massacre by the settlers. And the rumor was, it was connected with Valentine in some way.
Carry on.
He said the painting got torn up and thrown away, but he'd heard some pieces of it still exist. I don't know. We all tell ourselves things to explain what we can't explain. But what we do does come back on us, I reckon.
So the curse is constantly brought up in the background, and quote-unquote Indians are mentioned quite a bit. Obviously they mean the Native Americans. Supposedly there was a massacre a long time ago and somehow that's related to Valentine. That begs the question, is Valentine like built on the site of a massacre or something? Were the settlers who massacred the Indians the founders of Valentine? I'm just trying to figure out how the curse is tied to this place. Sorry, supposed curse. We don't even know if it's real. Now what's really fascinating is the final line of dialogue from the camp.
But what was it? Was it just bad luck or bad weather or something else?
Something about an eagle or an owl. Gravesite. I didn't really get it.
Something about an eagle or an owl and a gravesite. Why is this interesting, you might ask? Well, if you remember back to the beginning of the video, I put a spoiler warning. So I'm just going to revive that spoiler warning and tell you that we're going to be spoiling the ending of the main story in 10 seconds. If you do not want the main story to this game spoiled in its entirety, please do click off the video now or skip to a later point in the video. This shouldn't take longer than a minute. There you go, all sorted. So, at the end of the story, we all know that Arthur Morgan meets his fate. How depends a lot on your honour and your choices at the end of the game. But in the epilogue as John Marston, we can actually visit Arthur Morgan's grave. Now, people claim that they've experienced eagles or owls sitting near the grave, which depends on honour. For example, high honour would give you an eagle, low honour would give you an owl. I don't know how it works, but we know that animals have been used to represent honour numerous times in the game, so it makes some sense. Obviously this shot was taken from a distance away, and I can reinforce that when I approached the grave I did see a bird flying away from it. Though in this still and in my own gameplay I couldn't determine if it was an eagle or an owl or something else entirely. So I'm not sure if this is related, let me know what you think. The letter before also mentioned Indian artifacts, though I couldn't find any of those in Valentine. So I think we've done enough investigating to answer the question, is Valentine cursed or is everybody there just an asshole? Not that I'm an expert in curses or anything, but I couldn't find any evidence that Valentine was cursed. It just seems like it's a bit of a folklore tale within the game. I'm not saying I don't think Valentine's cursed, because I really do not know, but from my investigations I could find no evidence besides from people's say-so. And beyond that, any coincidences weren't directly related to Valentine. Obviously there's a lot more that could be investigated here, I'm sure I've missed a few things, in which case please do let me know what I've missed. But anyways, thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, and do let me know if you found anything in your own little investigations. I just want to say a massive thank you for 90,000 subscribers. We're in the home straight now, almost at 100,000, let's go do that. So be sure to hit subscribe. Be sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, I would really appreciate that. And if you want to go ahead and check out some like-minded thinkers, there will be links to the other 3 of the 4 pillars down in the description. There will also be a link to our community Discord server down in the description as well if you want to go ahead and join us there. Alrighty, that's enough plugging. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.